Hello and welcome to the Washington State EHR AIU Attestation Informational Webinar. We're going to start today by entering the Provider One portal. That's where we're going to access the link to the EMIP application, which is Washington State's attestation application. We're going to go in and attest as an individual provider, and then I'm going to show you where you can locate other useful information, user guides, white papers, and this webinar. So this is the login page for Provider One. And you're going to enter your domain. Your user ID. And your password. Click Login. And this drop-down should have your profiles. You're going to select the Provider EHR Administrator profile. Hit Go. If you have any problems logging in, I'll show you in a minute where you can call our security department. So here's our portal page. In the upper right-hand corner under Links, we're going to hit that and click the EHR Incentive Payment Program. And this takes you to the registration page. You're going to see two buttons. You're going to see the Start button and the Track button. Track's only going to let you view your application after you've submitted it. It's not going to let you update or change anything. So if you submitted your application and then you get an email or a call from one of our eligibility workers that you need to go back in and change something, you need to hit Start. So let's hit Start now. We're going to enter the registration ID. And search. And this brings us up to the Federal Information tab. There are different tabs: our eligibility, upload document. Last tab is where we're going to attest. We're going to start on the Federal Information tab. I would go ahead and review, make sure everything up here looks correct. NPI, this is our profile we're in. We're in payment year 1. After you have attested and been paid for payment year 1, you're going to see a new icon for payment year 2 for next year. Let's go ahead and click on payment year 1. This is information that Washington State received from CMS. So when you went originally and registered at CMS, this is the information we received. So I make sure that this is your email, this is your contact information. When you contact us or one of our eligibility workers with questions or anything to do with your attestation, this is the person that we have to talk to, whoever is listed as the email. That's our contact person. So if we receive an email from Clark.McPherson, we wouldn't be able to talk with that person. We have to have it from the email that was registered at CMS. Notice, make sure you see the payee NPI here. Make sure that's correct. You may be paying to a clinic or group. Whatever you did at CMS. Everything looks fine. There's no prior payments. If we were maybe registered in Oregon for year 1, we might see that prior payment information here, and then you would see the year 2 payment icon. Hit close. It automatically skips to eligibility screen. We're going to go ahead and open that up. These are our tool tips here. Anything you see with a little question mark, you can hover over it with your mouse. And it gives you information on what we're asking. There's our toggle buttons. You can either click the prior calendar year or prior 12 months. I'm going to click prior calendar year. End date should auto-populate. And then go ahead and go on through and choose your eligibility patient volume questions. It'll open up just depending on what you're choosing. Again, you have your tool tips. And like I said, we'll go through and look at the user guide. That'll kind of help explain some of these as well. Okay, enter your total encounters. If you choose yes. Again, it's not required. choose outside of Washington, you can put your state in. Here we're going to choose if we're adopting, implementing, or upgrading. We're going to choose adopt. Verify your certification number. And like our tooltip says here, if you didn't enter it at CMS, now is when you would go ahead and enter that. Save. And if anything's incorrect, we're going to get an error box that's going to pop up. It's going to tell us what it is we need to go back and change. It won't let you submit if it's incorrect. Here's our upload document. You can browse. Just select it, enter a file description. And we're on the attestation page, last page. Just reader bar over here, slide down, read the notice. You're going to go ahead and accept it. You're going to print it, sign it. You can upload a copy, send it in to us, and then click register. Yes, we do. And that's it. And then you're done. You can log out of it if you want to go back in and you want to view it. You're going to hit track, registration number again, search. And while that's coming up, we'll go ahead and we'll go to our Health IT site. So it's hca.wa.gov. That's going to bring you to our information page. Has a program overview. And this is updated, I think it's monthly. Here's our grand total paid to date. Gives you a little bit of information about the program, where we're at, how many EPs or hospitals have been paid so far, what year they're in. We have instructions and worksheets. And you can see we have it broken down to hospitals, providers, specialists, and dentists. And because this is AIU, you could go to our user guide. Here's the AIU user guide. Here's the EP. Let's open that. And this is just screenshots, basically what we just had gone through with a little bit more detail. So you might want to go review this. Here's the link for the Provider One portal. That was the blue screen, the very first page that you saw in the beginning of the webinar that we logged into Provider One with our domain. This is the link. And just same thing that we walked through earlier, entering your domain, username, password, drop down. So this will just take you step by step through what we just did. I'm going to go ahead and scroll to the bottom here. Start printing out your attestation. And then a glossary at the bottom. And it talks about what type of documentation you would use to upload. And then definition on the FQHC, RHCs, charity care, maybe patient volume, no cost encounters. So you might want to, and this will be the same thing that's kind of in our tooltips, but the user guide goes into, like I said, a little bit more detail. And then that's that. And then we have some white papers. This is a good place to come if we have updates, CMS updates, changes to rules, changes to encountered information. Recently, or about a year ago, I guess, we had no cost encounters where now you could include those in your encounter count. This is our white papers. So white paper number 1 talks about patient volume calculations, and this is updated. This is our monthly newsletter. If you haven't signed up for it yet, you can sign up here on the bottom of the page on the listserv notifications. Hit the sign up button. You'll notice this is the same information that was on our program overview. It goes out monthly, updated, new information from CMS, ONC, helpful tips and reminders, updates, changes maybe to our application we'll put in here. So you're going to want to sign up for our newsletter. And for some reason, it didn't. Let's see here. Okay, now we're in track. You can see track is highlighted up here. Just took a little bit. And when in this view, again, you can't update, you can't change anything, but you can go view it. If you didn't remember what you had maybe submitted for your encounter data, you can go back in. Your payment information will be in here. Your warrant, your RA number, the program year, the date, the status of your payment. And we're back on our Health IT page. If you hit the Contact Listserv button, here's our Provider One security team. So if you had any problems at all when you were logging into Provider One, your password or user ID said it wasn't valid, this is the number you would call here for our Provider One security team. And this is our Provider Enrollment team. If you have designated a payee MPI at CMS and you are not listed in Provider One as a servicing provider under that payee NPI, you cannot give them your payment. So if you have any problems at all, if you're going to get an error saying that you're not associated in Provider One with that group or that clinic, you need to call our Provider Enrollment team. And here's a link to sign up for the listserv notifications. There's a link to CMS sites, contacts, the HR program overview at CMS. And we're going to hit the log out button. And we are back to the home page, Provider One portal. And that is it for me. Hope you found this informational. Thank you.